Howdy, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, I'm Christina.
Hey, Christina.
I'm here with my sister Savannah, and we're both from just north of Nashville. We grew up around here.
Oh, well, thank you for being here.
Thanks. We're excited. Thank you guys for being here. I've seen you and your dad several times. This is the first live event with you guys. My question is actually a combination of both. In our family, we have a tendency to overthink and worry about a lot of things. So we're in the process of paying down a lot of debt. And at the same time, we've realized a lot of our stress comes from the fact that we have too much stuff. So we're doing our best to get rid of a lot of stuff. So, following Dave Ramsey and y'all's side, we're selling as much as we can, but we tend to obsess, and then it gets to the point where we get so stressed out trying to sell stuff that we just shut down, and we're like, we don't know what to do, and you just give it all away. So I guess our question is, how do you kind of balance wanting to get rid of everything and calming down life to really being hardcore, selling stuff, paying off, working extra hard? Because both of us are moms, we have jobs, I own my own business, so to do too much overwhelms us, to get to that financially stable point, but then to do nothing, is obviously not really great. So how do you kind of find a nice balance to both get, push to get to that financially stable point, but also not completely stress yourself out with the amount of stuff that you're doing in the process?
Sure, I would say when you're in the process of getting out of debt, the deeper you sacrifice, the faster the progress is going to happen. And so the more you say, and it's just a season. And you have kids, did you say you're a mom too?
Yes.
Okay, so the mom guilt is a real thing. And so it comes in these seasons where you're like, okay, if I'm going to work overtime, that means I'm not putting my kids to bed at night, right? And so a lot of that plays into the emotions. And so I want you to know that this is for a season. You're not going to be doing this for the next 20 years. You might be doing this for the next 9 months. And that might be it, right? Or the next 12 months. But it's not going to be your life. And so for a short period of time, the more you can sacrifice, the more progress you're going to see. And so that would be one encouragement. And yeah, if you walk into your home and you're like, I don't even know where to start, and then you just start shutting down and you just end up on a ball on the floor, right? Because you're like panicked. Just start somewhere. Just taking that next step. And I find that with a lot of people, when a lot of people start out starting to manage their money well, and they haven't looked at bills, they haven't looked at their income statement, they have no idea anything about their financial life. It is so overwhelming. But I always say, take that first step. And it's amazing when you start just even writing things down. Like maybe you say, okay, this week we're going to sell 3 things. And you just write it on a sheet of paper and you just leave it. And that's it. And that's all you have to focus on. Because again, if it's this black hole of stuff that you're like, I don't even know where to begin, it's going to be tough to get started. So find a couple of things at first. And then as you start doing it, whether it's Craigslist or eBay, and you guys are probably pros at like how to get rid of everything, but like, but really, like, you know how to do it. So, but like, in the sense that, yeah, you're going to start to see, okay, you're going to get comfortable with the process because it's not new anymore. You've already done it. And then suddenly you're like, okay, we can sell 5 things next week. We can sell 10 things, right? And you can start upping that. But it's just because it's new is what's frightening. But when you do it once, you're going to get your feet under you. You're going to say, okay, I understand how the process works.
She actually started with her tweetable answer. I'm sure Jess got that about the more you sacrifice, the quicker you will get. So that's beautiful. I can't tell you what you should do, what your specific parameters are, but I could tell you without boundaries, you'll get nowhere. And what I mean by that is I had to put some boundaries on the things I was going to sell because I was also overwhelmed. The average American household has more than 300,000 items in it. That's average. So like, that's not a hoarder's house. That's just like everyone's house has a bunch of stuff in it. And that's not me going around counting other people's things. That's the Los Angeles Times. And so what I can tell you is for me, because I was both trying to simplify my life and get out of debt at the same time, I put a number on it. Mine was a relatively low number. If I could sell something for $20 or more, I would sell it. If it was less than $20, I found a way to get rid of it right away. And so I recommend a few things. One is everything you own fits in one of 3 piles. Guaranteed it fits in one of 3 piles. It's essential. It's the 4 walls that you talked about. It's sort of something you truly need in your life, right? Most of us need food, shelter, clothing, etc., right? And so we have these essentials. Then we have the non-essentials in our life. That's the second bucket. Those are things that we don't necessarily need, but they add value to our lives. They enhance our lives. They make life a little bit better, right? Ideally, those are the things that most of us should own the most of, the things that enhance our life, that make life better. The third category, however, is what most of us own. That's junk. And we pretend it adds value to our lives. It has a theoretical value. There's a ton of aspirational value in these things. You bought that outfit because it looked really good on the mannequin, but then in your closet, every time you've tried it on, you're like, maybe next time. And so it just sits there in the walk-in closet full of clothes you don't enjoy wearing. It's junk. It doesn't mean someone else can't get value from it. In fact, they can, and they will if you let go of it. So if you can get $20 for it, I say sell it. If you can't get $20 for it, I say get rid of it really quickly. Get it out of the way because it's overwhelming to you. And then set a parameter. If you can't get rid of it this week or this month, for me it was 30 days. So you can get really aggressive and say this week. For me, if I couldn't get rid of it in 30 days, sell it, then I would either lower the price to as low as I could, $20, or I would just get rid of it, right? Now, that's even for a big electronic thing. You know, if it's a TV that I thought was worth $1,000, but no TVs are actually worth $1,000, that just happens to be what I paid for it. Maybe I can get rid of this damn thing for $20, get it out of my life, and make some money to pay down the debts. But that'll get the things out of my life. It'll allow you to bring in some money, and it'll allow you to stop, this sort of psychological torture that you're putting yourself through.
Yeah. I would say, like, when it comes to selling the stuff, this used to drive me crazy because of the BlackBerry that I had that was worth $500 when I first got it. And somehow I want to get $500 back out of that thing when I know I never will. So when it comes to letting stuff go, you've got to get really comfortable with two words, and that is sunk cost. You really have to understand that a lot of this stuff, you're not going to get what you originally paid for it. In fact, you might not get anything for it, and that's okay, because when you become comfortable, when I became comfortable with sunk cost, it was so much easier for me to take something that has been sitting on Craigslist for $20 that's been sitting there for a month or so. I can look at that and say, you know what? Probably not going to get anything out of that. That is a sunk cost I have to let go of. The other thing, too, I'll say is when you're doing this, you can overdo anything. You can overdo minimalism. You can overdo budgeting. I think really what it comes down to is do not forsake your values and beliefs. And now I know that there are some compromises. There might be some late nights where maybe you're coming home a little bit later than you would like to spend with your kids. But there is a balance between some sacrifices and killing puppies. I mean, there is a middle ground.
Well, we hadn't got to that yet, so that's good.
Well, I mean, I know that's an extreme example, but I mean, that is obviously something none of us in this room would ever do if that was getting us out of debt. In the next 6 months, none of us would
kill a puppy.
Yeah, none of us would do that, right? So really, my short answer is don't kill puppies.
Thank you. All three of you guys are a blessing to a lot of people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.